Hey guys, welcome back to my video series on solving LeetCode problems. On this video we're going to solve 57 insert interval. So what's this problem about? You are given an array of non-overlapping intervals where intervals I equals start end. So one interval, another interval. Representing the start and the end of the ith interval, and intervals is sorted in ascending order by start. Okay, so the first element of interval will always be smaller than smaller or equal than the interval of the next one. Actually, it will always be smaller because they're non-overlapping. If they had the same one, it would be an overlapping interval. You are also given a new interval, start end, it's like comes in the function, that represents the start and end of another interval. Insert new interval into intervals such that intervals is still sorted in ascending order by start I, and intervals still does not have any overlapping intervals. Merge overlapping intervals if necessary. Return intervals after the insertion. So what is the merge overlapping intervals if necessary? So you can check the previous video, which is called merge intervals, and it will show how to merge intervals in a non-sorted intervals. So we have this interval here, which is 2 and 5. We have 1 to 3 and then 6 to 9. 2 to 5, so let me just go and copy. This was from the previous exercise. So we have 1 to 3 and then 6 to 9. Was that it? Exactly. 6 to 9. So what does that mean? So if we go look at the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, we have this interval right here, 1 to 3, and then 6 to 9. And they want us to insert a new interval, which is 2 to 5. This is what we want to insert. So that being said, we should return something like, we should return all of these three intervals. However, this interval over here overlaps with this one here, as you can see. So we need to merge that one into 1 to 5. So we need to return two intervals. So let's get going. Let me create a directory. What was the number of this exercise? 57. Make directory 57. Insert interval. Code 57. Okay. Solution.py. Let's go back. Need to replace this list with non-capital first letter list, which is like native. The other one would have to be imported from Pydantic. No, not Pydantic, from typing. Solution.insert, and now we can copy it. So what's going to be the strategy? The strategy will be iterate from left to right on these intervals and check if the interval can be merged with our interval that we have over here, or the interval that we are currently trying to merge or insert. If this is smaller than that interval, then we just append it to the list of final results. If not, we start the merge until we cannot merge anymore. In the end, we'll just get to this one. Well, first of all, we have nothing to, this one is alone, so let's just return this alone and not merge it. So let's go. So for interval left and interval right in intervals, interval left, interval right. So we need to compare it to the current interval that we're looking at, which is the new interval. So let's say if interval left is smaller than the new interval 0, and then we also need to check and interval right is also smaller than new interval of 0. So if, let's say this was different and we wanted to insert the interval 3, 4, and we, instead of having 1, 3, we would have, let me just delete this, we would have 1, 2. Now I am iterating through 1, 2 right now, and I'm comparing if the first position here is smaller than the first position here, and the second position is also smaller than the first position. If that is the case, I just insert this to my return values. Return values, which will be a list of integers, equals this. Okay, so if that is the case, then return values dot append this. Cool. Continue. I'm right, I don't need to write continue. I'm not sure I need to, but I'm going to do it anyway. Continue. So this is the case that we just add that one. Or then it's the case where it's the opposite. We're trying to add this new interval, which is called, we're trying to insert the interval 1, 2, and we just started iterating, and the interval is 3, 4. And else if pretty much the same thing. Let's see if the interval that we're at is absolutely after the new interval that we want to insert. So if interval right is bigger than new interval 0 and yes, interval right, actually interval left is bigger than the start and is bigger than the end. So interval left is bigger than the start and interval right is bigger than the end. No, it's bigger than the end of the new interval. So we're just comparing this interval with the 2 here. We don't even care what's behind, if this long or this long. So we just care for the ending position. So if that is the case, then I think that we can just add return values dot append the new interval. Well, actually, this new interval, and also append this one, and continue. So I want to turn this into none. So if I insert this, then this interval equals none. should be able to change this type to also be a none. Let's see if it works. So new interval is none, and then I should put everything in. Oh, so then if I do if new interval is none, or all of this, because if the interval is none, I can just append it. Just put brackets here to make sure make sure that this doesn't collide with this on the Boolean priorities. And now return values. Run and debug, Python file, return values 2 to 5, 6 to oh wait, I messed up something. This should be 1 to 5. So what did I do wrong? New interval is none. Well, it's not none, but okay. Oh, it didn't do anything. Why didn't it do anything? So it didn't fall into any of the categories. I think there's another if statement that I'm forgetting. So, yeah, of course there is. I'm not doing the overlap. Silly me. Interval left is bigger than new interval. So, I think else is the overlap. Else is the overlap. So, if that is the case, I'm just going to replace the new interval with that overlap. So, new interval of new interval of 0 will be the minimum value of new interval of 0 and interval left. And the end position of new interval will be the maximum of new interval end position and interval right. So I think that if new interval in the end, so if we end the cycle and we still have a new interval, I'm going to do return values dot append new interval. Yeah, we just do that. See if that works. 1 to 5, 6 to 9. Okay, this is what we wanted. Submit. There's probably a bug somewhere. There isn't a bug anywhere. So memory was pretty good. Time was almost green. This is like almost green. I'm even going to submit again and see if we get better results. No, we did better. We did worse. But how could I optimize this? I don't know. Maybe I could assume some things. Maybe I'm doing like the min, max. No, I think this is a bit necessary. I don't know, I'm happy with the result. I'm satisfied. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. See you later.